Hi all, and welcome back to the 1 Minute Farming videos and the John Deere B restoration series. And as you can see from that picture there, we have fitted the stickers. These are the vinyl type that you can get that come sandwiched between two films, and you take the back film off, apply it to the hood in this case, and then you take the front film off, which reveals the individual letters. Unlike the Mylar type, which are all mounted in a like vinyl material, and when you put it on, it stops on the hood, as it were. I prefer these type because they look a little bit more original. The paint comes through the letters. Funny enough, I was reading an article in one of my books the other day, and this tractor, this tractor would not have had the black surround on it. You live and you learn. It falls, for the age of tractor, it falls in that period of when they went from the silk screen method, which is basically, I don't know if you know what silk screen is, but it's the letters are on a screen, and then they are, it's difficult to explain, but they are marked out on this material. And what happens is the guy would put his silk screen on the frame on the side of the hood there, and with a big broad yellow brush paint it on, and take the silk screen away, and you'll be left with the letters. Now, this, as I say, this tractor falls in a period of when they went from silk screening to, I suspect there'd be water transfers, and neither of which would have had the black surround on them. So, but there you go. I think they look very good. So we put that one on that side. We got the one on the medallion here. I always find that this one, for me anyways, is the challenge. I don't know what it is. I suspect it's because it's different angles, just to try and get them level with the bottom and getting it central. But anyway, that one worked out well. So that's gone on well. Happy with that. And then obviously we've got one on this side. Again, looks okay, that, yeah. Well, so yeah, we put the little one on down here. That is information on how to clean the engine breather filter inside the oil filler cap. I was in two minds of whether to put that one on. It's a lot of sticker for the area it has to go on, but I thought, hey, it needs to be there. That's how the originals were on. Turns out that these ones were actually paper. Originally they were paper stickers, so I don't know how long they would originally lasted, but that's what they are. That one's been on the pulley cover for a while. That tells you how to adjust the clutch. Obviously we've got model designation where it should be on the seat upstand, and not like the mistake a lot of people make by putting the black B in there, or whatever model it be, A, B, G or whatever. These tractors, the mid-styled John Deere's, did not have the black B. That only came on the late-styled ones. Yeah, so as you can see, the wheels have hit the ground, so it's lost its little training legs, as I called them. So it should move. Let's see if I can do this without dropping the camera. Ooh, let's have a go here. There we go. How's that? So it moves on its own wheels, as it were. So we put some more of the vinyl stickers on. So we've got one on the hydraulic cover there, particularly like that one. And then we've got two warning stickers there, safety stickers, and one on the back of the seat. Interestingly, in that same article I read regarding the the black on the John Deere script. Those are in fact the wrong style of sticker. Those would have been found on the late style tractor only, and the ones that should be on it is this one here. Is that type with the black hatching and the more in period sort of writing. Now, for those of you who probably already know, vinyl stickers, once they're on, they're on. Getting them off is extremely hard, and so yeah, I've put them on. They're wrong on the back here. I'll put up with it for now, but I mean the only way you would get them off is to warm them up, and in doing so you're going to damage the paint, and which would involve having to repaint the seat and the master cover there, master PTO cover. So I'm going to live with them for now. I'll see how many people spot they're wrong. I'm sure there'll be plenty of folks at these shows say, "Ooh, you've got the wrong stickers on there," but never mind. So I'll put up with that for now. So yeah, so that's where we are with that one. I mean, that is what came in the kit, and it was, the sticker pack was for this model of tractor. But there's so many different ones out there on the market, and as I'm having to ship them over from America, I can't pick and choose really. But I should have spotted that, and I am annoyed about it really, but never mind, it is what it is. Yeah, so we've got the covers on over the battery, but we did have to take them off again, because as you will see, I've actually eventually got the Dynamo wired up, and I noticed that when I had the voltmeter on, just checking what was what, the voltage was a bit low, that's in the battery, so I did have to take the covers back off again to recharge, or put my trickle charger on the battery. So but now put the lights on, there we go. Got lights and all sorts. Yeah, so that's good. So we finished off everything underneath, under here. Got this wire fixed on with some good looking clips. We got the bolts in that I mentioned that hold the battery top on, bracket thing, and so they're all on. Has a little bit of a movement in it, but there's nothing altered on the anywhere really, so obviously they all moved a little bit. I've put a bit of baler belting underneath it so it's not sitting directly on the metal. That was a tip some chap gave me over comments when we were originally fitting the battery, I believe. So yeah, so that's that done. Going back to the Dynamo. Now, with the Dynamo, you need, if you've had it rebuilt and all the rest of it, which that one is, you really do need to polarize the windings in the Dynamo. I'm not going to go into the warehouse and what's the fors, but basically, if the tractor is a positive earth, which this one is, and the windings inside need to be polarized, i.e. they need to be the power needs to flow in the correct direction through them. I believe that's what it's about. And so to do that, I've always known about polarizing dynamos, and the way you do it is you take a wire. Now this has the cutout relay on it, but you take a wire basically from the battery lead, which is this one, and you just gently flash it across to the A terminal on the which is, I think, is the windings terminal on the Dynamo. So just take a wire, flash it across from there to there, little spark, anything like that, and it sets the Dynamo up for you. So I'm told. I've done it that way. I've done it a few times on other ones. Well, not on particularly on tractors, but on old cars which I knew had that, which had dynamos. And believe it or not, it actually you're meant to do it every time you either take your battery off or you break the circuitry of it. Whether that's really is necessary, I never used to. There you go. Now you will see I've also got the Magneto on. That's one of my rebuilds, that Magneto. It has a good spark on it. It's all checked over, new set of points and that in it. Points in it. So that's in, ready to go. Now I can't remember whether I've discussed about timing the Magneto up to the engine. I may have done. There are plenty of videos out there on the internet regarding that. I can go quickly through it now. It will only be quickly, but if someone wanted me to do a more in-depth video of it, I can do that at a later date. But basically, what you need to do is take the spark plugs out, both sides, so the engine has no compression. Turn the flywheel over 2 or 3 times. This is without the mat before the Magneto's fitted, so don't fit the Magneto. Turn the engine over 2 or 3 times in its natural direction, so that will be anti-clockwise. Obviously this is an electric start tractor, so I need the, well, I made one actually. I have it down here. So it's an old steering wheel I had, and I made up this T-piece gizmo, and it fits in there like that, and you turn the wheel like so. Originally, when you would buy this tractor, you would obviously have your steering wheel connected, and supplied in its toolbox there would have been that fitting, which you would have taken your steering wheel off the column, screwed that fitting in, and you would have been able to turn the engine over with your steering wheel. So I just thought it'd be easier making one. As I say, it was an old steering wheel I had, so that's what we did with that. Yeah, so what you do is you turn it over a couple of times until you put your finger in the spark plug hole that we've just taken the plug out of. Put your finger in there, turn the engine over a couple of times until you get compression, and you know it's compression because you'll feel air forcing your finger out the hole, and then you just wind it. I've just moved it actually, but you just wind it till the left hand impulse lines up with that mark on the 5th and 6th gear cover on the gearbox. Now with a hand start tractor, that generally means that impulse line cuts through the 2 holes and it's totally horizontal. Now for some reason on this electric start tractor it's actually slightly canted this way. Presumably it's just the way the flywheel attaches to the crankshaft. I've checked it over several times, and basically at that angle there, the engine on that left hand cylinder is that top dead centre, which is what you're after. So once you've got that to that position, you have your Magneto. Put it in your vise, such as like over there. You can nip it if you're careful with that ear lug on the bottom there, so it can't move. You take a wire from this output on the distributor. You take a wire from there and put it across to the metal casing, and then again turning the impulse lug on the back anti-clockwise. You'll obviously see it trip, and the Magneto spins a little bit, and you do that until you get a spark, out of this top one, which is the left hand cylinder spark plug lead. And once you've got that spark, you know that the magneto is correct at that point. Do not turn the drive again on the magneto. Now, if you've got the flywheel set in the correct position, the slot in the governor will be horizontal or thereabouts. And then you just put the magneto in and hopefully line up the drive on the magneto with the drive in the governor. Nip it up too, but not tight, on the two bolts, top and bottom. Turn the magneto so the top's as far forward as you can get it. I'm going to have to speed this video up because I'm going to run out of time. And then turn the engine over a few times, half a dozen times, and then again go back to the compression stroke, so putting your finger in the spark plug hole, turn the engine over until left hand impulse is in line with the mark on the timing case. And hopefully, if you've done it right, the magneto has not tripped. And then what you do is you then gently turn the magneto backwards, or back to the back of the tractor, and it will trip. You'll hear it go click. Don't move it again. Tighten the magneto up into the governor, and by rights, if you've done it all right, you can turn the engine over. Don't this time put your finger down there because you'll get a belt off the magneto. Put a spark plug just loosely on the lead. Earth it out on the decompressor, that's the best place. And then turn the engine over, and it should by rights, as you turn it over, as that left hand impulse comes up on one or two, on a compression stroke, which you'll hear because you'll hear the air rushing out the hole, spark plug hole. It should click somewhere near when that is in line, when that's in line with the mark on the gearbox. So that's a quick run through of how to time your magneto up. A very quick run through. So if anybody wanted to me to be a bit more in depth, I can do that. There are plenty of videos out there on the internet. Some good, some bad, some indifferent. Yeah, so that's it really. We got the carburettor to get in next, which has just been painted over on the bench here. So that's to go in. Hopefully it's Friday today, hopefully this weekend, well it will go in this weekend, and we shall get it fired up and tractor running, hopefully, which will be videoed. Warts and all, so if it doesn't start first time, you will see it here. Okay then, before this runs out of power or whatever it's going to do, I'm going to call it an end on this video. There will be another one once the carburettor's on, and we're up and running, and then we're up and running to make it start hopefully. Okay then folks, thank you now, bye.